What's up? So we're back. So this is the sun, this is the frame, this is the box. So we're going to use the sun to warm up the metal to get it prepped to get painted or finish the final coat. I'm going to flip it over on the other side once it's done. I'm going to go to O'Reilly's and get some paint finisher to make the gloss paint pop, but to also keep it clean. It's just better that way. Got our emerald metallic green. Alright, get to it. As you can see, we're outside now. Much better of a working area. Oh, what's that? I don't know what that's about. What's up, bro? Alright, I can't record and spray, so I'm gonna stop. And we'll be back. Let's see if we can get the glory of this paint. It's kinda, let's see. It's like a deep emerald green. It's got some shine to it. I'm gonna get some clear coat now so we can get the paint to pop a little harder. This should be done by today. Then we can move on to assembly. I didn't think I was gonna have to do this many coats, but that's what happens. Yeah, so we're gonna let this dry now. This one side's gonna dry, and then we're gonna flip it over. I'm not gonna get this part of the frame very much because this is parts of the frame that won't be seen. I've already gone through 3.5 cans of paint, so I'm not gonna paint things that don't get seen by the visual eye. So we're gonna just leave it a little lighter, but the rest of it looks fine. Right here, it looks super clean. So that primer did its job. We're gonna definitely have to scrape the paint out of there because I didn't tape it off. So just remember, when it comes to paint, prep and safety is like your number one. If you don't have prep and safety, then like it's kind of pointless. You're gonna be breathing in paint and your job's gonna look overall shitty in the long run. So I prepped a little well. You know, I could have prepped better. You can always do it better. Something to remember, always leave it better than you found it. Cleaner. Always leave it cleaner than you found it. So we're gonna see how long this goes. Hopefully I don't get any particulates or anything. I have it in the corner, so it shouldn't, wind shouldn't kick up too much. So I'll come back in like, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. See how this is drying. If it's drying, we'll flip it over. If it's not dry yet, we're gonna leave it. Just trying to get a smooth color. No blotchy spots. You know, no heavier paint than in other areas. So like right here, just trying to make sure that this rear tube is fully painted straight and just clean. So just taking our time. Don't want to paint bugs in. We already fucked up by not dusting it off, but once the paint dried, I was able to like get that dust out of there, and then I was able to kind of like paint it again. So that's the plan for right now. Yeah. So it's all coming together, just taking its time. We'll get there in due time. Like I said from the beginning, this isn't a rush. I got a lot of school and work. I'm trying to survive. So we'll see how that gets it going, but she should be going pretty nicely pretty soon. I'm gonna put some M bars on this. So it's gonna be emerald green with black accents. I don't know what color panels we're gonna do, probably black, but that's the job so far. I'm gonna rebuild you too one day. One day I'll probably go with a different color. This color's too dark and it's starting to chip. But I don't know if you guys can kind of see, like, that's the black that's underneath it, and then that's the red that's on top. So I'll probably strip this bike down one day. You can see I didn't color the swing arm. I'm also not going to color the swing arm on this new bike. It's going to be black forks, black swing arm with a colored frame. I just like to do accentual paint. I don't want to go crazy and make it fucking look all out like some sort of weird color or anything like that. I just like to keep it on accents. But yeah, Crazy Horse is gonna have a sister. Okay, so I lost my sunlight, but it's okay. The paint is coming in very nicely. Everything is smooth. Got all the color laid. Not really on the inner frame, but that's okay. We just wanted it on the outer frame. You know, we just wanted a smooth, even paint. And that's what we got. Smooth and even. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to O'Reilly's, get the clear coat base, spray it down with the clear coat base, let it get coated. Once it's clear on this side, we're gonna flip it over, clear it on the other side. That should add the finishing gloss to the paint. And then we should be good from there, you know. Little imperfections here or there, like stuff there and shit like that, but for the most part it's pretty solid. I actually think that the metal, me sanding the metal all the way down like I did was actually a benefit, because it took out some of the imperfections in the actual metal, smoothed it down, and then got it running, like, you know, nicer than it was from the factory. I mean, you guys will never see this, but where this frame came from is a Chinese frame that, you know, was literally stacked on top of multiple frames. So they literally treated it like trash before I got it. So I'm not surprised that a lot of the bikes out there are crab walking, if you guys know what that's about. But we're not gonna go in on that, because that's like literally an unfixable frame. But I'll show you guys how to spot and look for frame stuff in a later video, just so you understand. Your front and rear wheel should definitely be in alignment with each other. Let's just put it like that. We're gonna leave that for now. But alright, we're gonna go get the clear coat base, get the base, spray it down, stand it up, spray it down, and get it fully, like, you know, ready to go. And then I should hopefully start assembly by Saturday or Sunday afternoon, and have it done most likely by, well, I gotta get a motor still. So I still need a motor. I need a rear motor. That's all I need is a rear motor. So I'm gonna cash out for that rear motor, and then we'll be good. Alright. Later. Alright, here we go. Just gonna layer down. Alright, well, that looks pretty nice. Let's see. Should give it that, like, wet look a little bit, in a way. Nice. That looks really good. It's like, you guys, I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it's like fucking shining now. So, that's good. That's all we want. We want that polished, clean look, so almost wet in a way. Okay, I'm getting it now. Now I'm understanding what I need to do. Okay. Wow. If you guys could see it now, it's like shining, dude. Alright, cool. Alright. So this is what we got so far. As you can see, I lost all my sunlight, but it's got some gloss to it. I wasn't going crazy. The paint doesn't need to be, you know, absolutely beautiful. I just really wanted a different color, which came out well. There was little nicks and stuff on certain edges, but there's parts of the bike that won't be seen. So like all of this is going to be covered by the panel. A lot of stuff is going to be covered by the panel, so I won't have to worry about it. I actually fucked it up on this side right here. And that's because I was laying it down and then I pulled it up and it ripped the paint off. But it's alright. This is also a side that won't be seen by the panel, so I'm not really tripping. I could have got more clear coat down here, but I'm just trying to protect this frame from rust because Lord knows in China it'd be raining. So alright, so we're just gonna get the swing arm, the rear suspension, and the front forks on. This would be like a quick small assembly video. I'm not gonna torque anything down. I'm just gonna get the visual aspects. I'm tired of having this on my floor, and building it more and more will motivate me to get the bike done quicker. I don't think I'm gonna sell this bike. I think I'm actually gonna keep this bike and then break down my other bike and build that bike instead for sale. So we're probably just gonna keep this bike and call it Heaven's Gate 2.0. Alright, let's grab the rest of the stuff. Okay, so we got it lightweight mocked up. I still gotta clean the paint out of the top, but I'm just getting things set to see what it looks like. I'm gonna get the swing on. Oh, I forgot the freaking rear suspension. God dang it, I gotta go back upstairs. Okay, so I got some of the stuff. I'm gonna use this to scrub out that. And then dry it off. Put the rear suspension on. It's like, as you can tell, these are used parts. So this bike isn't gonna be the cleanest. Like, it's literally just gonna be my new frame because my old frame is a V1 frame. And I don't want to be riding on a V1 frame. I want a bigger frame so I can run bigger batteries. A lot of you guys don't know this, but your V1 frame won't fit a 41 amp or a 52 or a Lightspeed or any of those crazy cool batteries because the carriage is too small. The carriage needs to be modified. Specifically, you need to take off your sidebars, but if you have a V2 or V2.5 or 1.5 frame or 1.25 frame, then you can fit those batteries. So that's my main reason for switching to the new battery. I can run like the new frame, I can run a bigger battery. So we're just gonna do that instead. I'll probably end up flipping my other bike though, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get this partially mocked up, and then once it's done, we can show you guys what's up. So this is that. All I did was literally just raise the stand down there to accommodate the forks, and then lowered it back down. So I'm going to take this out now and then scrub that out with the water, dry it out. Once it's dry, I can put all the other rear shit on. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so that's all cleaned out now. Let's get the bottom race. Let's get down here and clearing this out. And once these are both clean, we'll mock up that. I should get some bearing grease for the bearing, just to slather it on there. I think I have some. I'm not gonna torque anything. We're just loosely mocking it up on the bike. So, all right. It's hard for me to hold this and record while I'm trying to scrape, but I'll do my best. Oh, that came right out. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Just try not to fuck up the outside of the race, or the paint on the outside. Just try to make it clean as we can for the outside. Oh, doing this with one hand's really hard. Alright, I'm gonna stop recording and I'll put this down. Okay, so Brillo pad, a little bit of water, went a long way. I accidentally spilled some. But good thing I primered it so it won't rust. So then we're going to finish the inside, as you can see. Just get the paint out of there. There we go, nice smooth race. So let's get the rest of that out of there. All right, let's go to the other side. A lot of people like to rush their builds. I don't. Normally we could build these back in the day, could build one of these in 4 hours, working diligently. But this one's seeming to take 3 months, so I still gotta get the programming and everything, but it's all good. We'll get there. Okay, so we got the race cleaned out. You can't really see it, but the paint is all gone from out of there, so it's a little cleaner. So now we can slide the forks up in there, just tighten them down so they take up a little less space in my freaking apartment. And then we're gonna go and get the rear suspension, rear forks, or swing arm is gonna mount up. It's gonna be black on green. Yeah, all right. And all right, we got the rear suspension, putting it in. So old school Onyx ways. Man, it's cool building one of these again because it's been so long. They bring all the memories back. All right, so first things first, when I would build my Onyxes, is I would start with the rear. So we're gonna start with the rear swing arm, the rear suspension, get that all bolted and mounted up, tightened down. Normally get it greased up, but I'm really not tripping, like, you know, whatever. This is just gonna be, so you normally would grease this, grease down here. We'd also grease inside of the bushing. I think I have some grease in my car, I gotta check. But like I said, I'm not torquing anything down, we're just getting it mocked up, so it's not taking up so much space in my apartment. So, all right, so, let's see. Okay, so first things first, get the suspension put on. There's a collar washer that goes in between the shocks. Make sure those are in. Sometimes they're like pinched off on one end and they won't go in. Just flip them over. Yeah, just flip them over. They should be fine. Alright. Okay, so I got that on there. Alright. Onyx build. These little holes right here go on the inside, not on the outside. Okay, it's gonna slide, so I gotta hold it. So it goes like that, okay? No, it's sliding, don't fall, shit. Alright, so put that on there. Get the nut on there. Little acorn guy. Alright, so that's one half. There's the other ones. Okay. Oh, I already put that on there. Okay. Alright, so on the inside, again. Also, sometimes, man, some of these shocks are like just like a millimeter or two too small, and we'd have to drill them out. So that's another thing you guys may run into if you end up tearing your bikes down. You're gonna notice some things. that we would have to work around. Okay. Starting to look like an Onyx a little bit. Let me wipe up this water. Jesus Christ. Alright, hold on. Let me wipe up this water. I'll put water right here, get that cleaned up. I like how the water's beading though, it's not like seeping in. Just beads right there. Okay. I'll get that water wiped up. Okay, so get the other washer. Acorn number 2, where are you? Acorn number 2. Okay, so acorn number 2, acorn number 1. Okay, so first things first, when you're checking a frame, should have had it on the ground when I was doing this, but you're gonna come in the back of your frame and you're gonna look. It's gonna be kind of hard to see, but if you can kind of tell, look at the holes on the back of the frame and look at your pivot point on your swing arm, like at the top. You see that? You see how it kind of looks off? I'm gonna see if I can get the frame a little straighter. Hold on. Hold up. Okay. I turned it a little bit more, so maybe it's a little more even. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys can really see that, but it is slightly this way. And that's from the factory. A lot of the measurements from China, they didn't come straight, so you gotta be careful with that. Also, you wanna look at this center line here. That's what's keeping your front wheel in a parallel to your rear wheel. So you wanna make sure that this is not this way or, crooked, because that's also gonna make your bike do like a crab walk. Some people cut these off and re-weld them, but you don't have to. But it's pretty solid enough. Then you come to the front, and you want to look at the fork tube. The fork tube straight isn't in a line. You want to kind of measure that if you can. If not, that's another really big one. Another thing is making sure your frame is not a taco. A lot of the times we'd get to the final proceeding and we're putting the battery in and the battery won't fit back here. So we'd have to pull this back a little bit because sometimes frames are not perfect, but nothing is perfect, which is fine. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this up, lock this in, get a little snug, and get the rear swing arm on, make that a little snug. And we'll probably end it right there just to get a basis of what a frame, this is what we call a floater. Like, floaters in the toilet. When we wouldn't have parts, we would make things floaters, and if we didn't have certain parts, we'd make things rollers, which are bikes on wheels with no internals. Sad face. Yeah, as you can see, I really didn't focus on too much of the inside of the frame, because people aren't going to see that crap. I don't care about that. I cared a little bit more when I thought I was going to sell this bike, but now that I'm going to keep it and flip my other bike, yeah, I'm gonna make this Heaven's Gate 2.0, and then that other bike is, I don't know, we'll see. We'll take our time, but not too much time because it's already been fucking 3 months. But all right, so just get it mocked up. I can always loosen some things up and add grease later, so I'll probably do that. But I'm just gonna get it finished and mocked up for the day because I'm losing dramatic amounts of sunlight. That's a pretty nice cloud. All right, so let's get this slid back in there, and then we'll be going on our way. So take these are of a certain length, make sure they're proper, and they're also collars. Uh-oh, am I missing one? I am missing one. So guess what? I get to lovelily run upstairs and grab one because I'm right. Oh, I didn't leave it. It's right here on the floor. All right, cool. All right, and okay. Okay, now they're in. So we take the swing arm generally. Oh, fun. Okay, I wish I had a flatter surface. But what you do is you lay your swing arm upside down, like so, preferably on a flat surface, and you want to do called the rock. You see that? You see how it's moving even though it's on a flat surface? That's because the swing arm is not perfect. So you want to measure that. If this rock is heavy, like it's a big rock, like if it does this heavily, you can see it barely moving. Now pushing on the other side doesn't do it, but this side it's doing it. And that's because these two bars are not perfectly straight. One's a little raised. So you want to watch that. That's another thing you watch out for whenever you're taking one of those swing arms and adapting them to a frame. Okay, so we're gonna get that mocked up, and then we should be good from there. All right, so we got it mocked up. You see here, I put a washer on the inside, and there's a washer on the outside with a collared washer on the actual bolt itself. So once we have that in there, this is pretty much secured. We put red Loctite on these, and then we torque them down to about 30 Newton meters. Same with the top. The top is torqued to 30. I swear I remember all the torque specs. These are 30, this is 30, these are 50. We actually don't torque the bolts that go down to the swing arm. We just tighten the shit out of them. They didn't actually have a spec. But then, yeah, this top bolt here is 60. Your wheels are at 80 Newton meters. Yeah. So we're not going to put the Loctite on, but I'm going to show you. This is the spacer. It had a little bit of grease on it, so it kind of helped me out. But yeah, this is like a hardened rubber spacer that we put to fit because there's normally a gap between the plate. Where's my plate? You can see the plate's got built-in washers on it. First gen bikes didn't have this. First gen bikes, it was a flat washer, but first gen bikes is rubber, like gasket thing here was a lot different, so they didn't need that. But this is an updated boxed swing arm. If you look at the old school swing arms, they weren't boxed, they were just simple, and it caused a lot of rear wheel flex. So that's something you want to be watching out for. So I'm pretty much just gonna pull this up, and it's gonna sit like so. There we go. So now we got pretty much, this is a half floater. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this plate, I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna thread them on, and I'm gonna tighten them down a little bit. And then when it's ready for final torque, I'm gonna put the Loctite down there and tighten them all the way down. I wish I could get a time lapse of this, but I just have to keep recording it in clips because I don't have my phone, and it's just not working out, like putting the phone down and stuff like that. So I'll just do it this way to show you guys. So next up is put these on there. All right, we're running out of major light, but this is what we got so far. Okay, I got the washers. There's a washer on both sides, on one side and the other side. So that looks like that. And then I slid this up in there. There's a bearing right there with the spacer. Now what I'm gonna do is take this washer here, slide it down there like that. Angle this so the washer slides and get in your hole, Okay. Washer's in the hole, or bearings in the hole, excuse me. Then we take this cover here. The cover slides over top. Now we're not torquing this down, I'm just putting it on there so you can see what it's doing. Okay, so that's our bearing cover. And then comes this, our washer, and then comes the nut, right? So the nut gets threaded in, I'll thread it all the way down. Get it all the way, spread all the way down there.
We'll talk about that. That's one thing to look into.
But like I said, I'm losing light, so I'm probably gonna end it right here, and we'll do it later. Okay, sorry. So, pretty much what we've done so far, slid the fork up into the steering stem. So now it's in there. We got the washer. We've got our bearings. Like I said, these are gonna need a little bit of grease. In a little while, we got our headlight ears. We slide these down. We're not going to put the upper triple tree on because I need to put the front brake cable that's going to run this way down the bike, so we're going to do that. I've tightened these down. Remember, I still got to put the Loctite, so I tightened them down. I tightened this down. I tightened this down. So this is what we're looking at right now in terms of bike. It's a nice bike you got there. Alright, so this is a standing frame. This is what we would call a floater. She's floating her way. I don't know to where, but she's floating. We got everything on. We're gonna call it a night because it's getting too dark to shoot anymore, unfortunately, guys. But I'll try to pick this up again next week. Yeah, I have Wednesday and Thursday off, so I'll try to pick it up again next week, and get everything torqued, greased, you know, and just ready for the full installation. Then we're gonna start, you know, putting the electronics and stuff on. I still need a rear motor. I'm gonna do a 3T motor. It's a 5,000 watt motor. The bike should be able to do like at least 115. So, alright, we're gonna call it a night on that. Thanks for watching. We're getting closer to the finishing product. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty solid. Got a green on black little thing going on, so that's pretty nice. So yeah, nice. It came out pretty well. I'll take a couple photos. Alright, y'all. Peace.